Guys, we got to talk about Blizzard and we got to talk about World of Warcraft. This is a story that I've been following for probably a few days now. And I've been wanting to talk about it, but I've been waiting just to see what Blizzard was going to do because I'm sure something like this was going to lead to a pretty quick resolution. But let me give you a little bit of background as to what's going on. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me every single day, 9 p.m. over on the main channel, where you can catch me live every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see every single one of you there. Now back to the main video. So it recently came out because people, have really big mouths, and the guild or the group that ended up hiring or getting this game master to do this for them ended up talking about it on a live stream where there was a ton of people watching, and then people got pissed. But anyway, what ended up happening was there was a supposed guild or a group of players that apparently had a friend that was a game master inside of World of Warcraft that was hanging out with them in their Discord server and is part of their group. And they were doing endgame content. And if you guys don't know about this particular endgame content, you have a certain amount of time to defeat the dungeon and clear every single enemy in the dungeon in order to get the maximum reward by doing so. They got to the end, they killed the final boss, and they realized that they actually missed out on a couple of enemies that they didn't get to clear. So they were about to lose. They were about to basically, lose all that time and all that effort invested. So what did they end up doing? They end up begging their game master friend to kill everything in the dungeon, which resulted in them getting something that they weren't supposed to get. People found out about that because they talked about it on stream, and they were pissed. So then people started reporting it, and people started going to Blizzard like, is this what you guys do? Is Blizzard Game Masters actively helping people cheat? This is something that's happened a lot, by the way, in history in MMORPGs. There were times in EverQuest where game masters would literally watch guilds do endgame rating content just to see if they would actually beat the boss. They never interfered unless they had to, but this would happen quite often. So this game master decided to interfere and decided to death touch everything. Everything in the dungeon, killing everything in the dungeon, resulting in them getting the win. Now, let me show you the clip so you guys can have the context, okay? Entis says, wow, Game Master corruption? A Reddit post by Acrobatic Pianist has caused quite a stir in the last hour or so after it alleged that a Blizzard GM helped a friend clear a plus 23 key. WoW streamer Yummy TV was able to interview a suspected player in the key who confirmed that a GM did in fact help him out after reaching out to that GM. So let's play this and let's see what he's got to say.
Okay, you say your piece.
We're doing the key, and we killed the last boss, and I'm like, oh my god, we're missing percent. Like, how? This route looked fine. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my god, he probably forgot the Arcanist on pull 1. Bro, I have to do this shit again. And then I'm like, I go to my GM friend, I'm like, bro, please, can you do me a solid and just like, look, this thing has 20 mil, bro. Can you please just one shot?
Bro, there ain't no way
For the one time, for the one time.
Bro,
look, I meant no harm from it. If Blizzard wants to revoke that key or revoke my title, whatever they see fit, I don't care. Like, personally, I think it was harmless. I didn't expect him to like do it. In hindsight, he shouldn't have done it. He was just like doing me a solid because I fucking hate.
Guys, this is guys, can I just say something? This is a prime example of not like, okay, you're a streamer, I get it. This is a prime example of not everything has to be on the internet, bro. Like, not everything has to be talked about on the fucking internet, bro. Like, the fact that you're actually saying this out loud, and I know, like, maybe deep down he doesn't care. Like, maybe deep down he really doesn't mind if Blizzard, takes away, which we're gonna go over that in a second. But It's like, dude, not everything has to be on the internet, man. You could have just stayed quiet about it, because now what's about to happen, we all know what's about to happen. Once Blizzard gets a sniff of this and they find out that a game master has been helping guilds cheat and they got caught, straight to jail. And by straight to jail, I mean fired. But anyway, let's keep going.
Homework keys. I hate Brazil keys. I'm like, bro, my tank fucking up one pull. I now have to spend another 30 minutes of my life. Like, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it. Too,
Okay, say your piece.
We're
All right,
doing
so
the-
he's trying to claim that he didn't know that he was actually going to do it, and by asking him to do it, he was shocked that he actually did it. I don't believe that whatsoever. The fact that you actually knew to call your friend who was a GM and ask them to do this means that you probably have done this before and most likely just didn't get caught, right? So anyway, with that being said, now the Blizzard decided to investigate after being told about this. Let's go over this and see what's going on. We have an update. A cheating scandal has erupted in the World of Warcraft community after a Blizzard developer was caught using special game master abilities to kill 2 bosses for some friends. The GM seemingly didn't realize that one of the players was recording combat logs of the entire thing. Well, that's a stupid-ass GM then. Late on Tuesday, Reddit user Acrobatic Pianist posted evidence of the GM's meddling on the WoW subreddit. Their post links to a combat log that shows a non-player ability called Area Death Test being used to instantly kill a boss with nearly 90% of its health left. Not long after, a commentator on the thread found the GM using a separate insta-kill ability on a boss earlier in the run as well. So this is not even the first time. This is not even the first time. The homie was literally helping from beginning to almost the end to insta-kill bosses. Surprisingly, one of the players from the accused group went on to a Twitch stream to talk about what happened. When streamer UBTV asked them to explain, they said they were just short of finishing the Mythic Plus dungeon in time to get a seasonal title. When they called for help from their GM friend, he says, "I go to my friend, blah, 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 we already know." The player went on to say that they don't care if Blizzard disqualifies the Mythic Plus run and revokes their title because they believe it was harmless. There's nothing harmless about cheating in the game. There's nothing harmless. Like, if you're cheating in a single player game, that is harmless, right? If you're cheating in a single player game, nobody fucking cares because it doesn't affect anybody. It is what it is. But if you're cheating in an online video game where other people are competing with you or against you, whatever, it absolutely is harmful. There's no doubt about it. Of course it fucks with the game. You know, like the fact that you even think it's harmless to cheat in an online video game kind of tells me everything that I need to know and tells me that you've done this many times before. I gotta imagine you've done this many times before. There's no way that you haven't, right? Anyway, so he says, "I didn't expect him to do it." They said, in hindsight, he shouldn't have done it. He was just doing me a solid. Well, guess what? That solid has now cost, unfortunately, the Game Master's job. And maybe not unfortunately, because if you're that fucking stupid, if you're actually that stupid to do that, I don't think it's unfortunate at all. Blizzard has fired the World of Warcraft Game Master who abused developer-only powers to instantly kill dungeon bosses and help friends complete a high-level Mythic Plus run. After investigating, Blizzard confirmed that the employee violated the company's code of conduct and was fired effective immediately. The player accounts involved are also being punished as well. So this is the actual comment that was made by a blue poster. If you guys don't know what a blue poster is, this is basically community managers over at the WoW forums. They've been blue like the entire time the game's been out. That's how you could differentiate between, you know, a community manager and a normal poster. So Kaivok says, as we mentioned, we internally monitored and confirmed a recent incident in which a World of Warcraft group gained an unfair advantage of abuse of access to development-only spells on a live realm. Our tools confirm what was also surfaced in community discussions, and we have investigated the incident carefully. We can confirm that this was the action of a single Blizzard employee in violation of our code of conduct. This employer is no longer with the company effective immediately. We are also taking action against the player accounts that were complicit in this violation. It has always been the case that a small number of Blizzard employees can use developer tools and spells on live servers. This lets us test and make urgent fixes to the live game when they're needed. Every use of these internal spells and commands on live realms is logged and shared with our platform security team to help ensure that the occasional use of this access is warranted. The use of development tools for anything other than development work is against company policy. It's because of the process we have in place around use of these tools that we're confident this incident was isolated to one individual. We want to thank those of you in the WoW community who reached out with information and real concern for the integrity of the game, as well as the community sites that are also working to remove the results of this violation from their records. When your findings line up with ours, it helps confirm that our own tools are catching what they should, and we're grateful for the way we work alongside you, all to protect the game and each other. So they say that everything is logged. They say everything is logged. So my question is that had this story not gone viral, had this story not been discovered, would you have reprimanded that employee for using those spells on the live platform if nobody knew about it? Yeah, I don't know about that. As much as I want to give credit to Blizzard for firing this guy immediately, I can't help but shake the feeling that if this wasn't viral and if people didn't know about it outside of Blizzard's own ecosystem, I have a feeling they might not have done anything. You know, I have a feeling they might not have even said anything. Right? But, you know, you always want to hope and, you know, say they're going to do the right thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really expect a lot of integrity from Blizzard Entertainment, you know? I feel like only because they were caught. That's really what it is. And then the question is like, all right, so if everything is logged, does anybody check the fucking logs? Does anybody check the logs, bro? If all this stuff is logged, do you mean to tell me that you don't have a log of the guy doing a death touch? Really? Come on, bro. It's pretty obvious that you do. It's pretty obvious that for some reason, you just decided, like, to not do anything until you were caught. So, anyway, at the end of the day, all this fucking around has led to this guy being fired. And at this point, it is what it is. Like, it's not going to change anything at this point. The fact that this streamer was stupid enough to post about this publicly is just mind-blowing to me. And again, it just reminds me that not everything's got to be on the internet, bro. Not everything's got to be on the internet. So that's basically it, boys. We finally have a resolution to this story, and I'm glad I waited because that way at least we found out the guy was fired. So that's good.